Today, we're looking into the top 5 benefits of INFJs moving slow. As INFJs, there's always been this notion of I'm slower than others in whatever it may be. It seems like other people are just bypassing us, things are happening really quickly for them, and we are on this slow path no matter what we're doing, and it seems like we will never get out of it. It's easy to fall into this trap of, oh, there's something wrong with me, and I'm just so slow, and that means I'm not going to be successful, and that means I'm never going to have the life that I want, and therefore it's better for me to actually attach myself to another person or some organization or whatever it may be. But that's just simply not true. It's about time that we really look into it so every single INFJ out there understands the benefits from moving slowly. Because this one thing that I know for sure, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And if you allow yourself to actually embrace this slow movement, you will see what kind of incredible results you can achieve. Because if you doubt yourself because you move slowly, you will inevitably continue doing steps that will prove to you that you cannot achieve what you wanted. I am somebody who moves slowly. And I can tell you not just from personal experience, but also through having worked with thousands of INFJs, that is not the case. The fact that you're moving slowly can be a benefit if you start looking at it as one. So today we're looking into the 5 main benefits that INFJs have because they move slowly. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Benefit 1. If you move slowly, you can absorb more. Fact, there is no way around it. If you're somebody who's a workaholic, if you're somebody who continuously just takes steps and is in action mode, you will never be able to look at the big picture. You will never be able to really look at it from a bird's eye view and understand what the necessary steps are that need to be taken. If you're somebody who is continuously into action mode, you might make progress because you are this way, but you might miss important steps. You might really not get all the information needed in order to make a good assessment of the situation and to understand what the next right step is. There's one thing I keep on saying, which is we're INFJs. We don't have to do all the things. We just have to do the right things. And in order to do the right things, we have to have as much information as possible. So lean into the fact that you move slower. Lean into the fact that you absorb information and that you create something through pattern recognition. You're not just learning what is 2 times 2 or 2 times 4. You learn how to multiply. So you can then apply this to the big numbers. Benefit number 2. You make less wrong turns. If you're somebody who continuously acts fast, you're going to make wrong turns. I always like to say, if we want to grow, it is failure, 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 failure. And through that, you actually grow. It's also that, if you continuously try out, you're going to fail more often than most have even tried and therefore move forward. So how does that work when I say you're taking less wrong turns? Well, you're still supposed to make mistakes. You're still supposed to move forward as much as you can. But if you're an INFJ, you're most likely going to absorb as much as you can and therefore make less wrong turns. You can make mistakes. You're supposed to try out new things. You're supposed to understand what is true and what's not. But you're not making unnecessary wrong turns in situations that are just not going to move you forward. There are some mistakes that don't need to be made because we already know that they're not working out. This is one of the benefits from actually moving slowly. We're not making so many wrong turns as most people. That is a good thing. It's good to make a couple of them. It's good to understand reality more and more. But the less wrong turns you make, the faster you're going to progress. There are people who do so much right, and this one thing really gets them out of order. It's on us to understand that we need to pay attention to some kind of details. It's on us to understand that we have to look at externally observable facts. I always talk about this, that we really get out of our INFJ-ness to make less wrong turns. But independent of that, We just don't make that many wrong turns because we absorb, we understand, and therefore are actually reluctant to continue doing things that we know aren't good for us. If you move slowly, but therefore make less wrong turns, you will reach your destination faster than if you would really spin your wheels and make continuously wrong turns because you're not looking where you're going, and therefore will spin your wheel and never really get to where you're supposed to go. Remember, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Benefit number 3 of moving slowly is the fact that we're aware of our finite energy. INFJs have SE in their cognitive function stack, right? SE as in extroverted sensing. It's something that we value, but it's not something that we are incredibly good at. It's the action part. It's the drive. It's actually making things happen in the real world. And because we don't have infinite energy in that place, we're not going to be the person who can continuously do things. We're very aware of what needs to be done. And because of that, we actually focus more. If you're somebody who has a lot of energy and you feel like you have more energy than the people around you, you're probably going to spend more of it on things that aren't really good for you. But if you know that you only have a finite amount of energy, you're going to make sure that you're going to spend it on things that actually matter. And it's those decisions, it's that focus that will make you move forward in life. I know people from early childhood on who have all the energy that you could think of. Even to this day, they can get so much more done in a day than I ever could. But does that necessarily mean they're moving forward faster in life? No. Because what is important in order to get to where you want to go is focus, is to know where you want to go. And because you only have a finite amount of energy, you are way more aware where you put your energy to. So don't think of the fact that you have less energy as something that is necessarily a bad thing. It can be the main key of why you are moving towards where you want to go and you're making the progress in your life that you want and others are not able to. Benefit number 4 of the INFJ moving slowly is the INFJ learns early on not to look left and right. If you are going through life and everybody around you is sort of at your pace but not as fast as you, or there's some kind of competition there, you will probably look at what the people next to you are doing. You will look if they're moving faster. You will look if they're achieving something that you wanted and so forth. But if you have learned all your life that the people around you just keep doing thousands of things and you cannot keep up with them, you learn really early on not to look left and right because that will make you feel bad. And because you don't look left and right, you actually get to focus on your progress. So much time is not only wasted, but is used in the wrong way because people compare themselves to others. Because they think, oh, I have to look good in comparison to that person. I have to be more successful than that person. And because of that, they're missing the main point, which is to continue to grow on your terms. The only person who will ever make you feel like you're successful is yourself. And when you tap into that, I promise you, there is nobody left and right because it's so uniquely you that there's nobody to compare yourself to. The more I have tapped into my path, the more I have chosen the things that make me happy, the less people are around me that I can look and compare myself to. Because my journey is uniquely mine and your journey is uniquely yours. And the sooner you learn to focus on yourself, the faster you will go where you want to be. So trust me, the fact that INFJs tend to move slowly doesn't have to be a negative thing at all. If you allow yourself to see this as a strength, you will move faster than you ever thought possible. But it's never going to happen if you continue to doubt yourself and to think that you're less than because you compare yourself to others who have completely different strengths and completely different weaknesses than you. Benefit number 5 of moving slowly is that the INFJ learns early on to trust themselves. If you have learned that there is no reason for you to look left and right, if you, for example, study for something in school and you see that people around you get it much faster than you, But you know that if you trust yourself, you will have that exponential learning curve. You will have the experience that you want. And you've done this all of your life. You've done this more and more often. You just gain so much experience of, I am able to trust myself. And there's nothing more powerful than you trusting yourself. There's a saying, which you've definitely heard, which is like, doubt kills more dreams than wrong paths or wrong turns or failure has ever done. And that is true. So if you learn to trust yourself, if you look at what you have to offer for yourself and you stop looking at your so perceived weaknesses, you will learn that you can trust yourself because you have experienced that you are keeping the promises you make to yourself. There is no other way around. So because of your nature, you might have put yourself in a situation where you had to rely on you early on. And because of that, you now have the confidence of, if I set out to do something, I'm going to do it. Because every single time I set out to do something, I did it. There was no way for me to get reassurance because of other people looking how fast I'm going or because other people looked up to me. I got that reassurance because I trusted myself. I actually learned to rely on myself in such a way that my confidence is built on something that cannot be taken from me. If you know that you can trust yourself, if you know that you keep the promises you make to yourself and that you build your confidence on the fact that you have a growth mindset and that you're willing to learn and that you're always challenging yourself and that you're not comparing yourself on some kind of external metrics with anybody else, you will have all the success you ever wanted because it will be on your terms and you will feel you're successful and it won't matter if anybody sees it or not. Remember, if you want some more guidelines how to tap into your INFJ potential, then get the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide today. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the Exceptional INFJ Learning Curve.